Pete Plays asks, I just built a 4-inch Apex DC. It seems like it's having a flyaway issue. I disabled air mode. It helped a bit. Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do that. Like, I'm glad that helped, but that shouldn't be necessary. That's like saying, I rolled out of bed, and when I put my weight on my ankle, there was a shooting pain up my ankle. So then I found that if I, like, crawled on my hands and knees, it didn't hurt as bad. Like, okay, but you still have a problem. You shouldn't have to turn off air mode. As soon as I try to hover, the throttle goes to 100. I think what you mean is the throttle doesn't literally go to 100. To me, that would imply that you were watching the throttle channel actually go to 100. I don't think that happened. What you mean is the quad takes off and the motors just surge. At times, I can idle throttle and it comes down a bit, but any bit of throttle causes it to climb full speed again. Okay, so Pete Plays, the problem you're describing happens when there is too much vibration getting to the gyro, and it basically just overwhelms the PID loop. The PID loop freaks out, and the motors go to full, and the quad tries to fly away. This can happen because of vibration. It can happen because of electrical noise. And it can happen because of a hardware failure, like a bad flight controller and a bad gyro. If you had been playing with the PID tuning, if you had been bumping the filter sliders to the left, to the right, if you had been turning up the PIDs and specifically the D gains, the D term is what will cause this to happen. The D term can cause feedback, okay? The I term is like a low-pass filter. It's very slow, and it damps and settles and has a soothing effect on the PID sum, the PID sum. The P term is linear, and so it goes both directions in a linear way. But the P term generally doesn't cause, like, cascading feedback. And the D term is a high-pass filter. And what that can mean is that the D term can cause cascading feedback. And so just like when you're at a concert and the microphone feeds back and it goes, well, that's what can happen to the PID loop when the D term is too active. It can feed back and you get a flyaway. So if you had been PID tuning and you had turned down the filters, or you had cranked the master multiplier, or you had cranked the D term multiplier, these are things that could cause this, but I don't think you did those things. I'm going to assume that you're on default PIDs and filters. If not, that's the next thing you should do. Okay? If you're on default PIDs and filters and you're getting flyaways, then something is mechanically or electrically wrong with the build. Now, Ciati says, my bet is there's a mechanical problem. The apex frame is stout and should be isolating vibes plenty for the stock PIDs to work totally fine. I agree with Ciati. A 4-inch apex build should not have any problem with the default PIDs and filters. It should be fine, okay? So either there's something mechanically wrong with the build, like you've got a cracked frame plate, or maybe you have a bad gyro on your flight controller. I hate to say, I hate to go back to the question to the explanation of bad hardware, but it is possible that that's what it is.